And I will start the live stream to Facebook. And the group. Okay.
They asked us all to wear blue and yellow today, so this was the yellow shirt. Starfleet Academy.
Oh, I love it. Perfect. That's awesome. Okay, we are live in Facebook. Perfect. Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone. I will keep an eye on the request to join. So if anybody is scrolling through Facebook and noticing we're live, you can still join the Zoom call. And welcome everybody who is on Zoom and those who are watching on Facebook. I'm going to try to keep an eye on the group myself here. I think we were live streaming. How come we're not now? Oh, we are. Okay. Fantastic. Oh, a few more people jumping in. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Okay, we are live on Zoom, recording, live streaming to Facebook. You can have cameras on or cameras off, your choice. Yeah. Hi, Erin. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the chat. I'm going to multitask tonight. I wanted to start by sharing what I think is a really cool story. As a lot of you know, those of you that we've been doing this for a bit and in other groups with me, threes is a big thing, right? Number threes. And it's funny, just as I was letting people into the group, I looked and we have 333 people in the group right now.
Of course.
So I love that. But I wanted to just share a little bit about my day because it just feels like such a magical transformational day. First of all, I was so fortunate to start my day today at 8 this morning on a Facebook video messenger call with a lovely gentleman from Peru who is a shaman, and we did this 1-hour session that was like a healing session and all around gratitude and releasing, and it was such a beautiful ceremony and so powerful, and I really did feel quite a shift. And then shortly after that, I went upstairs. I was getting ready to go teach yoga, and I just looked out my window. You know, the sun was shining. It's still very wintry here in Edmonton. And the tree outside my window caught my eye, and I looked closer, and my tree is budding. It's budding leaves. Yeah. Which it kind of blows my mind because it's still very wintry and cold. I actually had to go outside and double check and make sure I wasn't like seeing things, but it's actually budding. And I thought, wow, like that is just so cool. And then the third thing, so again, back to the threes, the third really great thing that happened was after lunch, I went and checked my mail. And a lot of you probably don't know, but over the last 1.5 years, I've been doing a priestess training with the Red Moon Mystery School and have completed, and now just at the stage of doing my initiation. So today my package arrived for my ceremony. So it's just been this like wonderful, crazy day of, very symbolic of, new beginnings and change and transformation. And then I actually did sit down and pulled 3 tarot cards as I was just waiting for everybody to come on. And it was like the Magician and the 7 of Swords reversed, which is all about freedom and release. And then the third one was the Star, and all about connection to spirit and intuition, and like it just was so bang on. Anyway, it's just been so wonderful. I'm feeling in such a great place energetically and really excited to be here with all of you and come together and tap into that energy as a collective. and, bring us all into this place of healing and growth and transformation. I really do feel there's still a lot of, heaviness in the world and darkness in the world, but I really do feel like there is a shift happening and things are starting to change and transform, and it feels really good. And I hope that you are seeing that or feeling that as well too. And I think, as we know, so much of our experience is, our perception, the perception we choose to see, our beliefs, the story we tell, right? You guys are always hearing me. Those of you that are in lots of groups with me, I'm always saying, change your story, change your story. And it really does make a difference. So, Mark asked me just before we were recording if I had a plan tonight. No, I do not, because that's kind of how I roll. But I shouldn't say I don't. I have a little bit of a plan. Of course, we're always going to do some cards and share some messages, but I'm really going to just let Spirit decide what we're going to do. So I'm just going to peek in the chat there. Okay. So let's just take a moment to really kind of disconnect from our day and really kind of connect deeper to ourselves and then with each other here through just some silence and intention. So I'll invite you to close your eyes if you are comfortable doing so. And just take a few deep breaths, cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Take as many of those cleansing breaths as you need. And when you feel ready, just settle back into a more natural, comfortable breath. And allow whatever you're sitting upon to take your weight. Set the intention to pull your energy or awareness within you, letting go of everything outside of you. It'll all still be there. Take this time for yourself. Bring your energy to your heart center. Finding some gratitude for this opportunity to really detach from everything and just really turn inwards, reconnect with yourself, step back into that place of your true self, connecting back with your power. And just notice how you feel. And if there is, some heaviness, some discomfort there, allow it to be there just for a moment. But know that Mother Earth is waking up from winter and ready to really take our heaviness, take the load that we've been carrying, and even just set the intention right now to just release it all down to the earth. With gratitude to Mother Earth for taking this. Maybe even in your mind or out loud, just saying, I release all that no longer serves me. Thank you, Mother Earth, for taking this for me. Maybe feel a lightness. And feel yourself move into alignment with yourself. Set the intention to be open to Spirit, to receive information, healing, guidance, energy, whatever you may be in need of this evening. And taking one last deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes, come back to the space. So again, those of you on Zoom with me, you're welcome to keep your camera on or off, your choice. And what kind of came up is just to share a lesson from the soul's journey. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to pull, there's something that Spirit wants to talk about or remind us of, and I'm being drawn to the soul's journey deck. So that's where we're going to start. So I'm just going to pull a card and see what Spirit has to say about that. A few more people coming in. I will be doing some individual readings too. So maybe start to think about a question you might have or something you're looking for some guidance on.
Yes.
Okay.
Go.
What a great card. Death. The thing that people don't want to talk about, right? Because we've been kind of conditioned to believe that death is a bad thing. Death is really an illusion. This card doesn't say that, but it's really about endings. And yes, sadly, sometimes death does mean the end of a life in human form, but it doesn't mean the end of existence per se. It can be the end of a time period in life, a phase, the ending of a lesson that we've come to learn. This can actually be a really good transition. We're just often conditioned to view this as a bad thing, a painful thing, a sad thing, something to avoid, to not talk about. And yes, when it is the case of a human life moving through death and transitioning to spirit world, there is a lot of sadness and there is a lot of pain that can come with that, especially for those still on earth who are very close to that person. And I think we can all relate to that experience. However, I think the lesson that Spirit wants us to realize is that in other ways, even when death can be painful, it can also be very beautiful, right? As we move, we're always transitioning from life. We're transitioning from infants to children, from children to teenagers, from students to adults, from working people to retired people. We're transitioning from single to into a partnership. There's all sorts of transitions that we go through in life. And just imagine how boring and unfulfilling life would be if we never had any death per se, if we never had change or opportunity. We need this. We need this for growth, for abundance, right? And abundance isn't always about finances. Abundance could be about abundance of love. To me, abundance is experience, which is something that we all want. And I think a lot of us don't realize the death that we go through so much before it is even physical death of a body, right? As some of those experiences I just shared, right? Whether it's losing a job, the ending of a relationship due to a breakup or a divorce. Again, things like retirement. It can bring darkness, but it can also bring a lot more light and opportunity. I know I can think back, and I'll just start with relationships. I think every single one of us can relate to a past relationship, maybe several ago. And remember at that time, you thought, I can't imagine being without this person, right? Tell the truth. Who can relate to that? Do you remember being in that relationship and thinking, I can't imagine not being with this person? And now you're like, why was I with that person? Right? Or I can't imagine being with that person, right? So had we not had the death of that relationship, we wouldn't be where we are today. I can also think back to where, jobs, maybe you get laid off or let go at a job and it's devastating and there's a lot of anger. And then, 3 months later, you've got this better job, better hours, pays better, shorter commute. Had we not had the death in that old job, we wouldn't have had this new birthing of the new job, right? And if you think about it, you can look back and see so much of that in all areas of life. And when we can start to change our perception or our perspective on that, we can actually open ourselves up to more opportunities. If we view every change or transition as a sad, painful death, we close ourselves off to anything else. But if you can grieve, but still find your way through it, you open yourself up to some pretty amazing and wonderful opportunities. And even with the death of a person, right? I can tell you that firsthand, with my son Tristan, who passed. Painful experience, but I am so grateful right now. And it really, that whole experience and losing him is what really brought me to where I am today, on a personal level, on a professional level, and on a spiritual level. And so I have so much gratitude and so much more appreciation for this now, because I can see it in a different way. And I think that's the reminder that Spirit wants us to know, because this is all around us. And there are situations where it's really harder to find the meaning or the purpose. And the perfect example is what's going on in the Ukraine right now, right? One would look at that and say, how can we see that as transformation or as a positive? There's a lot of pain there. There is a lot of pain there, and not only for the people there, but for those of us that are, empathizing and sympathizing with the people there. For me, I think because of the whole journey with me spiritually, I am just such a big believer that we come into this life choosing to teach certain lessons, to learn certain lessons, to be a part of certain experiences. And sometimes that comes at a great cost. And it's really hard to see at the time. And especially in a situation like this in the Ukraine. But I can't help but believe and hope that at some point, this is going to create some sort of better change, especially in that part of the world overall. And I know that's really hard to wrap your head around sometimes. And maybe I'll come back to using my son as the example. Like his death was, he died of overdose. So he really struggled. And with mental health and addictions, there can be a lot of stigma and a lot of shame and blame and judgment and that sort of thing. And but when I look at it from the perspective that I shared earlier about, I really believe we made this agreement coming into this life that we were going to have this experience. Because had he not gone through that, like I said, I wouldn't have woken up and had the profound healing that I did or be doing the work I do. So I view this as a gift from him. And I can't think of a greater gift to receive somebody, the sacrifice, or, him choosing to go through that so that I could be where I am today. So there's just honor in that. So sometimes the sacrifice that some people make is so that others can, fulfill purposes or create the change or what's needed in this world. I hope that makes sense. But I really feel like that's kind of the message that Spirit wants us to just kind of keep in your back pocket and think about. Okay. Not saying don't grieve, don't feel sad, that you shouldn't feel pain when there is death or transition, but try to approach it not only with the grieving process, but looking for what can come of this. How can this make me stronger? How can I step into this in a way to make this better, or for anybody else? So I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Topic that not too many people want to talk about, but we need to. And I can tell you, when we start to talk about it and we understand it in a new way, it does become a beautiful thing. At some point, we are all going to transition from this human form. And it can be a beautiful process, especially if you've done your healing and you have a connection to spirit. It can be a beautiful, beautiful situation. Yes, death can be compassionate. Death of the old. Yeah. Out with the old, in with the new, right? This happens in nature all the time, right? Like I said, you know, we're coming out of winter. Winter is kind of like, I don't know, I always think of it as like death for nature. And then in the spring, there's this whole new rebirth, and it's so beautiful, right? So it's just like nature. Mark, I'm not that old. Not in this lifetime. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's just see. Okay, we're going to do some cards. I did mention I was going to pull out the tarot deck this week, so I am going to do that. We have a smaller group on the call tonight, so that makes it a little bit easier to do individual readings and not have to worry too much about picking people. So what I'm going to offer for anyone interested is a 3-card tarot reading, which kind of just is a really simple past, present, future. So if you would like to have that reading, let me know. I'll go around and just kind of start in order. You can, if you're not interested in that, you can pass. This isn't one where you have to specifically have a question to ask, but okay. So Mark, you want to have a reading?
I am, of course, thinking on my retirement and when and should I, and you know, it's sort of sometime between now and September, I think.
Okay. Tell me when to stop shuffling, and I'll slow my shuffling down. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I have, your cards are all reversed. So the first one is the Page of Wands. So let's see what I get from this. I'll show you the image first.
Okay.
Okay. This isn't the Rider-Waite deck, but it's very similar. Okay, so Wands is often about like creativity. It does feel like kind of that transition of, like you said, you're kind of ending teaching. The interesting thing too is the Magician is next to it. So yeah, it really tells me that you are moving towards retirement, right? Making things happen, the teaching part, that's coming to an end. And then you have the Fool reversed. So that does tell me that you're kind of coming to a halt. Now, do you know if there's something specific you want to do in retirement, or are you just going to like another part-time career or something, or are you going to retire and just live life?
No, there's things I want to do. I want to tutor, and I want to get more involved in my spiritual side. Yeah.
Okay. So you're clear on what you want.
It's more like there's a tree of possibilities.
Okay. That's why it feels like it's ending on the Fool, because it's kind of like, yep, there's the stopping of this, but now what, right? So let me pull another card. Okay. So it was reversed, and it's the 7 of Cups. So what this tells me is when you do, and I feel like it won't be until you retire, but all of a sudden when you retire, you're going to know exactly where you want to focus your energy or your attention.
Cool.
Yeah, it's and there's it's so funny because like if you look at it upright, right, there's a lot of different cups filled with lots of different things, which is very much what you described, like a lot of different areas.
Yeah,
and then you see the one here that kind of has a like a blanket over it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that shows like not being able to see or make a decision, but when it's reversed, that falls off, right? So then that's where the clarity comes. So I get a sense that you're not quite going to know exactly which one of those cups to gravitate towards first until you actually are retired.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it does show that you have a lot of options.
Yep.
And yeah, that you know, that cloud over the head will fall off and you will get very clear. Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah. Now let me mix these up. Now who else have I got on here? Jerry, would you like to have a tarot spread?
I would love it. Yeah, love it.
Okay. Let me just shuffle these up again. Okay, so tell me when to stop shuffling.
Now.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we have the first card is Judgment reversed. So that's good. I get a sense that maybe recently or within the last year or something, there's been kind of a heaviness maybe taken off you, or a bit of a shift, or a freedom from something maybe. And then we have the Chariot, which is for the present. And this really shows like balance, kind of going forward with yin and yang. What else have we got in here? It almost feels definitely some forward movement, maybe even a bit of a change in direction. So this could be, it could be just about travel moving forward. It could be moving to something new, a new city or a new job or a new relationship or a new home. I don't know if any of that resonates at all, but there's some sort of forward movement. And then you have the future one is the Lovers.
Woo.
So if you're in a relationship, it's going to get better, and if you're not in a relationship, there's one coming.
Good.
Yeah,
I'd like that.
sound. Well, there you go. Yeah. So I would suggest with these two, this forward movement too. You know, really pay attention to the signs, because I get a sense that this will lead to this, right? Okay. So allow yourself to move forward. Sometimes that's uncomfortable, right? Because anything unfamiliar is uncomfortable, so we can be a little bit resistant. But yeah, I just get a sense if any little opportunities or invitations or something come forth, go for it.
Will do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Nancy, I've got two Nancys on here. I think this is Nancy L. Yeah.
No, iPhone is. Hang on.
Are you iPhone?
No.
No, that's you. Yeah.
No, I'm not iPhone.
No, you're Nancy though.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Am I the one you want?
I'm going to give you two some different names.
I know, right? I've never had this problem before.
I know. There's lots of Nancys and lots of Kims in this group.
That's crazy.
Okay. Do you want a reading, Nancy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me when to stop.
Excuse me. Stop.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we have the Fool reversed. So that says that you were previously at like a bit of a standstill previously.
Mm-hmm.
Being a little bit more cautious.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of get a sense it's kind of where you put your energy. Where you put your energy on that. It also feels like you're kind of looking with that cautiousness. It's all kind of related to looking to the struggles in life and the challenges, and really being careful about how to approach them. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So then what's happening right now is we have the Devil. So you are working through your deepest challenges.
Okay.
Deepest
Yeah,
challenges.
that makes sense too.
The good news is you've got the 8 of Wands.
Oh, I like 8.
Yeah. So, and that's all like forward, lots of creativity. So that kind of tells me that you're going to break free from this. And I do feel like the overall story or message here is to continue to approach this with caution and with consciousness, right? The Fool upright is just a risk taker, will jump in. Fool reversed, which is you, is like a slower approach, right? And the slower approach will be a more conscious, compassionate approach to move through this than rushing into it, right?
My reading I did this morning, my 3 cards, said step by step, just like I got the card telling me I was being really eager. So just chillax, keep doing the work step by step. You're being guided. It's all good. I don't need to see the whole map. I don't have to be there now. So yeah, hang on.
Exactly. And like I said, it's just and it's just because you're going through the worst of the worst now.
Right.
Right, which needs to happen. But yeah.
And I knew it was going to happen. I was even told that in my Ho'oponopono classes as well. He said, when you start doing this seriously, the shit is going to hit the fan. Yeah. So be ready.
But as long as you approach it like cautiously and slowly and with a, instead of the ego, you're gonna
right. And instead of like the typical bull that I am, right? Yeah. Raging in. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you, dear. That was really good.
You're welcome. Okay, and then I have Kim. I have a Kim and Kimberly and me.
Here we go again.
The Kim and Nancy show.
Meaning me, Kim?
Yes.
Kimberly.
You, Kim.
Okay.
Would you like a 3-card reading?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. I just gotta making sure I'm not missing comments in the group. Okay, I'm trying to keep an eye on the Facebook group too. All right. So tell me when to stop shuffling.
Okay. Yep.
This deck is so much bigger than the regular oracles. Okay, so we have the 5 of Swords, which this really shows like a victory. It shows like you've just kind of come out of a battle. There is strength coming from this. So yeah, it feels like you've really just kind of overcome a big something in life. It's exhausted you though. Does that resonate with you right now? Feeling a little exhausted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
And it's like that, this last big battle kind of like kicked your ass. is basically what it shows is happening right now. Like you're tired. But it's also showing a lot of pressure off of here. So I get a sense that this battle, while it was physically exhausting, it's also brought a bit of freedom or peace of mind, if that makes sense. Does that relate at all or resonate at all?
Yeah. Oh, good.
Okay. And then we have the Page of Wands. So this one is looking to new growth, which is a nice sign. What else have we got here? It also, I'm getting a sense of a deeper connection to self too. So I don't know if that's part of your journey is kind of digging deeper to your true self. But it feels like part of the journey is this like solitude, like a connection to self, and just this new growth and a bit of a new self-love, self-appreciation. Is that something you've been working on?
Mhm.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, so I think the important thing right now is to definitely take that time to rest, and the growth, the change, it's happening, but it may not be happening as quick as you would like. And I also kind of get a sense that the speed of that will be dependent on how much you actually allow yourself to rest. So if you try to push yourself, it's like you prolong that growth or that new beginning or that transformation. But if you really allow yourself to get your strength back, then it'll start to come a lot quicker. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, perfect. Colin, not Nancy. Colin, not Nancy. Would you like a reading?
Yes,
Thanks.
please. And I
Okay.
just put that because Nancy's not here today, so I didn't want you to get confused that there might be 3 Nancys and 3 Kims.
Well, thank you. That helped a little. All right, tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop, please.
Okay. Okay. So we have the 5 of Cups. So I know you, Colin, so I know exactly what this is relating to. So if you look at this picture, you see some cups knocked over and some cups kind of behind.
Yeah.
And you notice he's kind of looking to the cups that are spilled over. So in the past, this kind of shows that, you know, we all have this, you know, areas where we are lacking and areas where we're abundant. And there was a little bit more focus on the areas of lack or frustration than on the lack of abundance and gratitude. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then that brought you to the Fool reversed. Again, this is coming up. So again, you're a lot more cautious now. You are really, what's the word? Like you're not jumping into things. You really take your time. You're very cautious, a little bit more protective. maybe setting a little bit more boundaries, taking your time with things, really kind of assessing more than you used to. Make sense?
Sure does.
And then you have the Lovers. Funny how these two cards have come up again now, because somebody else had these. So yeah, it shows, you know, a lot of blessings, prosperity, connection, earthy, all good stuff. So good relationship card. Moving
Nice.
forward. Yeah. And that's because of this, right? Being, you know, getting clear and on making your decisions and not just jumping into things.
Yeah, that's relevant for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
with that? You're welcome. Shauna. Would you like? Okay. I'm going to really give these a good shuffle again. Although I did this, I shuffled and shuffled these cards so many times today and I kept pulling the same ones too. What happens? Okay, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So what this shows is you were maybe previously really worried, maybe worried more about money for a period of time, being really kind of focused on, like, really narrow focused, kind of protecting, reverse though. You kind of let go of that worry. Does that make sense?
Yes. it
Yeah.
does.
Okay. And then the nice thing, you step into the Page of Pentacles, which is, this shows like a change in that financial thing. It could be like new business or investments. Maybe you got maybe you got a tax return coming that's nice size or something like that. So that finance is kind of coming in. That makes sense?
Yep.
Have you seen that yet?
Not yet. Fingers
Okay, well,
crossed.
it's coming. Probably pretty soon. And then you have the King of Cups. Okay, you can see him on the horse there. And so this shows a strong, supportive man in your life. So this could be your husband, or it could be like a business partner that's coming in that might bring or be a part of those finances coming in. Does either of those resonate with you?
Yeah.
Or maybe your husband's going to get a raise or something, or a promotion. Anyway, there's some sort of man in your life that's going to be part of bringing in prosperity.
Awesome.
Maybe it could be an inheritance too, actually, or
Well,
something.
I hope not.
Yeah. Not necessarily an inheritance because of someone passing either. It just could be something, right?
Yeah.
It feels more like a work thing though. It doesn't feel like a winning or a gifting. It does feel more like something related to like a work or a business, or yeah, just kind of keep your senses peeled for that.
I sure will. Thank you.
You're welcome. iPhone, Nancy D.
Hi,
Do you want me to pull some cards for you?
sure, that'd be great.
Okay, let me give these another shuffle. Okay, tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
All right. Okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles, which shows this is some new money coming in, or new finances. The new beginning of, I don't know, maybe if I remember right, maybe you're starting a new business or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
okay, so-
started a new business.
That's what's happening. Now you have the Five of Pentacles. So here's what this is telling me. And this is probably related to your business. And I'm sorry, I can't remember what your business is, but if you're looking, maybe it's something you're looking for clients or,
Yeah.
Okay. So what this is showing is that it's like, it's right there, like the big contract or the big pool of clients or whatever, it's right there. But you have to be, kind of look around more because you could easily bypass it. Does that make sense?
Ah, it better
And
not.
it might be, and it's just, I think the message is, it might be coming from where you don't expect it, right? Sometimes we kind of get an idea in our head that this is, where we get our clients, or this is where I sell my products or whatever. But it could be from other areas that are really close. So just kind of have a broad or a wide-eyed view of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, because it's like it's really close, but it's so close, and because you might be focused on getting it in a certain place, that you might miss something that comes like right in front of you. Okay.
Interesting.
And then
Okay.
and then we have the King of Swords. So this shows, now if I put him down, okay, I want to show you something. I don't know if I show you this, it'll be reversed, but no, it'll be this way. So see, he is looking at them.
Right.
Right. So when we have the card, when we're laying the cards out, the story goes from this way, that way, right?
Right.
It goes left to right. So the Knight of Swords is like a strong man. He can be a bit stubborn, but he's also like, there's no fear. He's driven, that sort of thing. And I get a sense, because it's almost like because he's facing that card, I feel like he might be like the one to kind of steer you to see this. So pay attention, because it's definitely a man, but it feels like his coming in is to help you see these pentacles that you may not see.
Okay.
So he could be like a great referral. He could be someone who just refers a bunch of people to you. He could be someone from a networking organization that can help you connect to other people. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, kind of keep your eyes, ears out for this man who is, and he might even come across a little bit arrogant at first. And you might think, oh, I don't really want to connect with him. But that might be the indication that he is the one that might actually help you.
Okay. Be open-minded.
Yeah. Yeah. So he might be like some kind of marketing guy or some kind of networking guy. But he might be a little bit arrogant or pushy. But that might be the indication that he's the one.
Okay.
But I don't get a sense it's like a relationship thing. I get a sense it's connected to helping you with your business.
Okay.
Yeah. Makes sense?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Kimberly. The other Kim.
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me shuffle these. Okay, so you can tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Okay.
Sure.
So we have the reversed, the 10 of Cups. So this shows in the past that there was like a bit of a falling out or a falling apart within the family.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have the King of Swords, which is reversed. So this shows me that the man in this situation has lost his power.
Yeah.
Does that resonate?
Totally.
Yeah. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles reversed. This is a really good card. A lot of times people will think this is a bad card because it's like, the money's falling away. But if you notice this person, so upright, this person is giving money to those less fortunate. And when it's reversed, the money is falling back into his hands.
Oh.
So this shows that you may have given or lost financially. It's coming back, and it usually comes back twicefold.
Cool.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So know that's coming.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Okay, I thought so. Jackie, would you like some cards? You might be muted. Or maybe you're not there. Okay, I'll come back to Jackie. Michelle, would you like some cards?
Yes, please.
Okay, so tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Okay. All right. Ooh, this is good. Okay, so we have upside down Temperance. So this shows in the past there was kind of some imbalance. Might have been juggling a lot. Okay, Jackie, I will fix that for you. Sorry, Michelle. Yeah, so you were juggling a lot in the past, maybe having a hard time bringing balance into your life. Does that resonate?
Yes.
Okay. And then we have the Queen of Cups reversed. I'll just show you what that looks like.
Yeah.
And what this shows is, so this could be a couple of things. It could be, do you have children?
Yes.
Are you a recent empty nester?
Yes.
Okay, that's exactly what this is. Yeah, so reversed empty nester. Now the card that is coming in the future for you is the Hermit, and this is a really good card because this shows a connection to wisdom, consciousness. So if you're not already on a deep kind of spiritual journey, you're going to be going on one pretty quick.
I am already, and I'm feeling like I've been working so hard and nothing seems to be coming.
All right, we talked about this. I remember. Yeah, no, this is showing you're there, or you're very soon to be there. The Hermit is often mistaken for someone who is like reclusive or alone or withdrawn, but the Hermit is. We talked about this in our Spiritual Awakening Masterclass last night, I think. You know, and some of you have probably noticed this as we become more conscious and more aware and more authentic. We start to detach from what doesn't serve us, right? Whereas when we're not there, we tend to attach to everything. So this is a sign of wisdom, of consciousness, of connection, of that deep spiritual awareness. So you're going there pretty quick.
So hang on. You're saying hang on?
Oh yeah, it's a lifelong journey. I can tell you that it's a lifelong journey. You got to keep working at it. But and just when you think, man, I've got it figured out, boom, so something else. So you just level up again. So yeah, keep doing it. Keep doing it. And maybe you know, maybe what's coming up is just maybe you're trying too hard. Enjoy the journey. Don't be in such a hurry to get to the highest level. Enjoy the journey.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jackie, I just clicked ask to unmute. If it won't let you unmute, but you did say okay in the comments. So if you can unmute, great. I'm going to just pull some cards for you.
Thanks.
Okay. Let me give this a good shuffle. Okay, Jackie,
Please
it
read
still
out.
won't let you. Okay. Jackie, give me a number and that's how many times I'll shuffle. 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups reversed to start. So this shows kind of a like a pause or a loss, a stop in something happening. And I know a little bit about what you've been working through. So this kind of makes sense to me. I hope that makes sense to you. So yeah, it's just like you were kind of going along through life and then there was just a bit of a pause, a halt. Things kind of stopped flowing a little bit energetically. And then you have currently the King of Swords. Okay, so what this shows is strength, determination. Again, the king can sometimes be stubborn. A king can sometimes represent husband, or it could be a boss. But there's a man in your life that, and I feel like it's more a challenge for you. Maybe it's this challenge that you're having. And you feel free to put something in the chat. So, oh my God, totally, yeah. So this is just what's kind of facing you right now is there's this bit of a challenge with a man who, you know, appears to have strength and a bit stubborn. And then going forward, we have the Chariot, which again, this shows balance coming in. It shows forward movement, going away from something towards something new. So I think this is a really good sign that, you know, that the challenge that's happening right now, there is some forward movement towards a resolution, to leaving it behind and to bringing more balance into your life. So I hope that makes sense. Oh, yes, please. Yes. So trust that. Okay. All right. I think we got through everybody. Okay. So let me just, I'm just going to connect with Spirit and just see if we're going to have a lesson or anything to share, if there's anything, anybody who wants to come in. The name Lisa's coming up. Why? Does anybody know a Lisa on here? Is there a Lisa in the chat? Okay, I'm going to just keep meditating on that. Or if anybody knows a Lisa who maybe has passed. Very strong about Lisa. Let's see. Kim, I know a Lisa, a friend. Okay, is your friend Lisa still alive, or had she passed, Kim? And you can unmute yourself or you can chat alive. Okay. Let me just see. Has Lisa's mom passed away?
Yep, she's alive.
What about her
Yes.
mom? Her mom's alive?
No, her mom
Oh, her-
passed away.
Okay. Like in the last year or two?
No, some time ago, quite a while ago.
Yeah, this feels like someone who's just recently.
Okay.
I'll just see what else I can get. I see like a woman, I want to say maybe 40s, like darker hair, like a dark brown hair, short, almost kind of like bobbed. Actually, like now that I think of the haircut, it doesn't seem like a recent haircut. It seems like kind of a like an 80s, 90s mom haircut. That makes sense. Not judging, just the kind of this like a really short bob kind of. Loved red. Color red is just very everywhere red. Singing a lot. But if this doesn't resonate with anybody, I'm not going to keep showing me a dog.
Is it Lise or Lisa?
Lisa. Sorry, I just see Carol's message in the Facebook chat here. Okay, Carol says Lisa passed away maybe 2 years ago. Let me just connect with this again. Yeah, I'm not getting anything else from her. So I'm just gonna thank her and let her go and just see if we can connect with anybody else. Do have Angel coming in for some healing. This is for something around, it feels like a lower back or maybe a kidney kind of thing. I don't know if anybody is experiencing any of that kind of pain or discomfort, or if anybody has kidney stones or something around the lower back, pelvic area. So I'm going to just move towards this healing, and of course everybody can benefit from it, but it is coming in for someone specific. So if you feel this is for you, or if you just feel like you want to bring some healing into this area of your body, I'll invite you to close your eyes. Sandy, maybe, yeah. Okay, so close your eyes and bring your attention to the area in the low back, the kidneys, and allow the discomfort to be there. Just acknowledge it and even thank it for showing up. As strange as that may feel, thank it for showing up, because it's showing up for a purpose, for a reason, to bring some sort of information, to bring some sort of awareness. So just to give it permission to be there, knowing that it is just there temporarily. Notice the qualities or the description of it. Is it sharp? Is it throbbing? Is it heavy? Is it long? Is it wide? Is it deep? Is it circular? Does it have a shape? Is there an emotion connected to it? And if so, what is it? Is it sadness? Is it anger? Is it resentment? Is it guilt? Is it shame? Is it blame? Is it something else? And again, just getting curious about it, not judging, not connecting with it to identify who you are, but just to get curious about it, get to know it. Notice if it would say anything, if it could speak, what might it say to you? Does it have a message, this discomfort? What reason is it trying to get your attention for? And maybe you have found some information. Maybe you have a new awareness. And if you don't, that's okay. Once again, thank this discomfort for showing up and give it permission to leave. And feel this beautiful angel come behind you. This beautiful, bright white light coming from her hands as she brings them to your low back. And feel this bright white light coming into your body and easing the discomfort, the pain, quietening the sharpness, the loudness of the discomfort. And feeling that discomfort or any of those sensations just starting to shrink, to soften, to dissolve. And just feeling this space fill with softness, with lightness, with love, with good healing energy. And know this divine healing energy will stay in that area and continue to bring deep healing into the tissue, into the muscles, the bones, into every cell in your body, healing that area. Healing that area emotionally and physically and energetically. And thanking this angel for sharing this beautiful healing. Bringing your awareness now to your heart center, and connecting with that gratitude that you have for this beautiful angel, for this healing that you've received. And take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for just a few seconds. And then slowly exhale and feel any lingering tension or discomfort leave with your breath. And if you feel the need to take one or two more of those breaths, go ahead. And when you feel ready, you can come back to a normal breath. You can open your eyes and come back to the space. Okay. Hopefully that felt good, especially for those who maybe needed that. All right. I'm going to pull one more card from the Soul's Journey and just, if I can find it, one last message from Spirit, and then we will close our session. I'm going to try and jump on here maybe on Sunday. I'm going to take a look at the schedule. I'm feeling a need for something a little extra for all of us. Stay tuned for that. Well, I guess that's what we're talking about. Courage. So this one jumped out. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So right away, what comes to mind, and for those of you who don't know, I just start sharing. So this is what's coming through with Spirit. But this is about, you know, you're standing on this threshold where we've all been on a journey, and that's the reason we're all here. We're looking for some growth, some healing, some evolution, some transformation. And the human nature is to be where it's comfortable because it's familiar. We know what to expect. And even if it's not great, even if it's really toxic, it's familiar. So it's easy to stay stuck there. And it's difficult sometimes to have the courage to step into the unknown. But the unknown, again, just like we shared earlier about death, it's that opportunity. And it's the courage that helps us to take that step into that unknown. We give courage away because of fear of judgment, because of fear of failure, because of feeling not good enough. And that will keep us stuck. It'll keep us stuck. So what's coming up is a bit of a recommendation, I think, is they're asking you to, all of us, myself included, really reflect on areas where you are lacking courage. Because the area where you are lacking most is what's really holding you back. We can be courageous in certain areas of life and not courageous in others. But in order to truly grow and transform and to be our authentic self, we have to have courage in all areas, in all situations, in all experiences. So the message is to take a step back and do a bit of an assessment. Notice where you have a lot of courage in life, and notice where you lack courage in life, and start to focus on building the courage in the areas that you don't have it. So maybe you have a lot of courage in your work environment, but not a lot of courage in relationships. Or maybe you have a lot of courage as a parent, but not a lot of courage in your work environment. Focus your energy, do the work in the area where you have the least amount of courage, because that's what's going to free you to really move forward. Okay. So where are your doubts? Where are your fears? Where is your resistance? That's where you need courage. Okay. Any questions or comments on that at all?
That makes a lot of sense.
It does, right? I never thought of it that way myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
need
give
this
that
in
some
order to make the other three work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I already know. I already got my list going.
It kind of makes me think of that whole concept, you know, you take 3 steps or 1 step forward and 3 steps back. It's like, yeah, we have the courage to go forward, but then in those other areas where we don't, we pull back, right? So in order to really move forward and stay forward moving, we have to have courage in all areas of life. Yeah, I never thought of it that way before. Interesting. Yeah, that was a great message. Love it. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Okay, wow, there's our challenge. And if anybody feels inclined to share what they come up with in the group, feel free. That would be great. I'm gonna meditate on that too and see where I can drum up some more courage in areas of my life. So yeah, because I think we probably all have areas where we have a lot of courage and areas where we don't. And you know, like Mark said, it does make so much sense when I think about it. And a perfect example I'll use is, you know, like when I first started this group, and the whole idea came in a meditation. And when I first got this download, I thought, F that, I'm not doing this. Like, that's way out of my comfort zone. But I'm always telling clients and friends, you got to learn to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. So I've pushed myself through it. And I'm not going to lie, I still have times where I'm like, oh, I doubt myself, or, but it's the only way to build the courage, I guess, right? So by showing up every week, I'm building my courage in the areas where I'm not as comfortable as I am in others. So it does make a lot of sense when you think of it that way. So yeah, I love that. You never know what's going to come up on these calls. So some good lessons learned. So I'm going to leave it at that for tonight, unless anybody has anything they do want to share. Thanks, Jackie. I'm getting there. I'm really trying to push myself out of my comfort zone with this stuff. So, and I really appreciate all of you, you know, showing up every week, because you're helping me to build my courage around all of this. Because, you know, as we know, the more we do something, the more comfortable we get with it, the better we get at it. So thank you for continuing to show up and hold me accountable. And I hope you will continue to do that, because I need your help. And I'm going to do one last little plug here. My book is out after years of freely writing. I'm so excited that my book is out. It's the story of my journey with my son, and all the proceeds from the book are going into a fund to cover the cost of my programs and services for those who can't afford it. I really try to work with people who, you know, because my son struggled with a lot of addictions and mental health, I do every now and then try to, you know, offer discounts or freebies for those. The people who need this stuff the most can't afford it, right? We know that. So all of the proceeds from the book are going to cover the cost, or to at least offset the cost of those less fortunate to take the programs. And so any support, whether, you know, if you purchase a book or just share or help promote, I appreciate it. So thank you all so much.
Part 2.
I gotta work on it. I know it's all here. I gotta get typing. Yes, it's coming.
It was
And
really
everybody
good.
has a story. Thank you.
It was really good. It was very well written, and yeah, I blubbered. It was good. Yeah.
Okay, well, I got to get writing, and everybody has a story. So, you know, you all have a story that you could write too. So share your story. It's so healing.
That's
All
on my
right,
courage list. It's the first thing on it.
Love it.
Thanks
love
for
it.
running this, Kim. Thanks for the reading. And I think you're doing a wonderful job. So
Yep, me
I
too.
can't tell you're out of your comfort zone. You're doing great.
Thank you. Well, I guess I'm getting lots of practice.
You're a good pretender.
Thank you. You just go with the flow. Yeah. Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody in Facebook. I'm just going to make sure there's no comments here. Sorry for those of you in Facebook if you've been feeling neglected. I'm trying to multitask. All right. So yes, thank you everyone. Have a great night. Check back, because I'm going to try to do an extra one before next Wednesday. And don't forget to invite your family, friends. We're closer to that 500 member mark. So I'm going to do the draw for the free card deck and free 30-minute reading. And otherwise, have a great week. Go find your courage, build it up, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Mama.
Love you all.
Love ya.